my wonderful, beautiful friends from around the world. Welcome to my channel, Clarity with Carolee. I'm Carolee, and I help to bring you clarity through life's toughest challenges. At least that's what I hope to do. With this guidance, with this channel, I'm glad you're here today. We are going to quickly, and I mean, this is going to be a lot faster than some of my other readings, look into what or who is deceiving you. This could even be your own subconscious mind, your own inner world, inner beliefs, your shadow self. It could be an entity, a person. We're going to look at that. Each pile is different. I have pre-selected the cards because I wanted this to be a pretty straightforward and quick video. So I did pre-select your cards. We have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Pile number 1 is number 1. Pile number 2 is number 12. And pile number 3 is number 9. Take a look at the picture and intuitively choose the pile that resonates, or the image that resonates with you the most. I'm going to stop using, I used to use crystals for pile selections, but I really prefer it if you just listen to your inner being and see what comes up for you. There could be messages in multiple piles, but go to the pile that resonates with you the most. You can pause this video, take a deep breath, and relax. And when you feel ready and called to, go down to the description box and click on the timestamp next to the pile selection. So 1, 2, or 3. I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. All right, number 1. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. She's holding the daisies, this bouquet of beautiful daisies up around her ears, blocking out the noise from the outside world, the buzzing noise from the insects, from the bees. But by doing that, she's also attracting them. So she's holding this bouquet of flowers up next to her ears, blocking out the noise, the humming sounds, the busyness, right, and around her environment. But by doing that, she's actually raising her vibrations and attracting this beautiful transformation into her life with the blue butterflies there. She's returning to a sense of innocence, reconnecting with her inner being, her inner child. That's what I'm getting from this message. Also, there's the flowers are white. We have this white rose coming up here. And it's like a fresh start, a new beginning with intention though. This isn't just by chance. This is by design. This is well intentioned. And you're sort of surrendering to whatever it is that is going around you, or you've already surrendered to things that have happened in the past, to the experiences in your life. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take a different approach. I'm not going to react. I'm going to take care of myself, nurture myself, focus on what I want to be focusing on, the beauty in life, and I'm going to just sort of put blinders on to the rest of the world so that I can focus on my own truth. But I'm seeing also, because this is a message about what or who is deceiving you, it could be that you're so well-intentioned that you're not actually seeing the deception in your life. You want to believe in the good in people. You want to believe that most people, don't want to harm you, that there are no dark entities. You just want to believe in the open hearts, the good hearts of the people around you. You see beauty everywhere that you go, that you are almost, it's like willful ignorance. You're just blinded to other people's deceptions. And sometimes maybe you might think that you are naive, or you're wondering if you're just naive in this situation. And I think it's twofold, right? This quality in you of just innocence and purity, but it sometimes gets you into trouble because you end up trusting the wrong people or aligning with the wrong people. And you're kind of wondering why that happens. What am I not seeing? I'm hearing. What am I not seeing about this person or this situation that I need to see? How come I'm blindsided by other people's deceptions? And you're wondering if it's you, like if there's something wrong with you, but that's not the case, Spirit is saying. It's not the case at all. You are meant to come into this world with this pure heart, with this knowing, this believing in the goodness of mankind, of the world, and that's not, there's nothing wrong with that. But so now we're looking at who is deceiving you and why do you need to know. So let's kind of move on from the general energy and message of this reading. I pulled one card for each pile from the where's the box? I always forget the name. The Pleasure Oracle deck, my Pleasure Oracle deck. And it's not because this reading is about pleasure. I think it's just about getting to know yourself and connecting with your own inner being, so that you can develop your intuition, so that you can develop your faith in yourself and your ability to see truth around you, and to really protect yourself. So that's why I chose this oracle deck for this reading, or that's why Spirit helped me choose this deck. So your card here is this image. You can see. Sharpen your erotic intelligence. I'm going to read it for you. Erotic intelligence, coined by Dr. Esther Perel, means valuing and cherishing your excitement more than you value and cherish the rules. It means seeking the sublime in everyday, would-be mundane moments. It means transcending the ordinary through the imagination. Action. You are the star of this sensual film noir. You are a dashing romantic adventurer. You create your perspective and your grand narrative. So write your own story, literally even. Document your present or plot your future. Just don't look to another to unlock a passion only you yourself hold the key to. No one's your mind reader or your savior. Meet them halfway with erotic as well as emotional intelligence. So this could be about putting those blinders on in order to navigate the world, in order to reach the desired outcome of whatever it is that you're working on in your life, whatever you're trying to manifest, or whatever your soul is calling in. It's sort of that, what does it say here? Valuing and cherishing your excitement more than you value and cherish the rules. So disregarding the world around you, the world of make-believe that other people have created, the drama playing out on the world stage, and focus on your intentions. What is it that you want to create in this world? It could even be to stay very literally, stop paying attention to the drama unfolding on the world stage and just focus on creating the world that you want to live in, right? And people might say you're naive by doing that, and that you should be paying attention, but follow your heart, follow your gut. If you're being called to ignore what's happening so that you can focus on your own reality, then do that. This is your life. And whatever you put attention on will flourish, even if it's just in your mind. If you pay attention to the cruelty in the world, then the cruelty will be all you see. But if you focus on the love, the joy, the coming together, the connections being formed, the ideas being shared, that's what will flourish. So if more of the world's population focused on that, imagine the kind of world that we would be living in right now. So the other cards that I pulled here, first came the Angel of Strength. I'll put her right there. I'm hearing drums, a very rhythmic, slow and steady rhythmic beat. Bum, 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 bum. It's like your heart is steady. Or steady yourself, I'm hearing. And I also see this line in front of you being spirit, and you are this beautiful earthbound angel, and you are being protected by spirit, this mission. Like, you came here with this purpose. You might seem or feel naive, or like, why don't other people see the love and the joy? This reminds me of my daughter Aria. She's very much like this. She just has this big heart. She loves people. She sees goodness in people. I've actively had to teach her, that she needs to be able to set boundaries and to trust her body when it comes to, if she sees somebody that her body reacts to, that she might feel afraid of, to trust that intuition, because she's generally just a very light hearted person who wants to spread love and joy around the world, even though the world isn't full of lightness like that, but that's who she is. So I'm seeing that spirit is really protecting this aspect of you. I think this is more about deception from around the world, just the heaviness that you're existing in, and you're trying to be that lightness. You're trying to breathe, you're trying to be a breath of fresh air, but the world around you is very deceptive, and spirit is trying to protect you from being conditioned by the world. And then the other two cards that came out after I pulled those ones were the Angel of Love. So we have the Strength, Angel of Strength, and the Angel of Love. I think that this is you. You are this earthbound angel, and you are this angel of love. And then we have Deceit here. I think that this is, because it's so vague and so general, I think that this is deceit of the world, conditioning from the world. And that because of your light, there might be major players that are working to conspire against you, and spirit is actively keeping them at bay, or protecting you, or allowing you to go into those situations of really dark, deceptive energies and come out okay, or go in and collect the evidence that you need from those people, those experiences, in order to shed light on what's happening, but not to be conditioned by it. So there's this like protective wall, protective energetic field around you that is divinely guided, that is from the celestial world, that's very protective of your energy, of you. You're here to break the rules. You're not here to play by the rules. And that, to a certain extent, is just this naivety. Maybe not naivety, but just this like really wanting to focus on and see the love and see the lightness in people, the truth of their soul, of their inner being, of their inner child, and not necessarily who they've become because of all of the tragedy that they've experienced. I'm hearing freedom fighter. That could resonate with you. And then these two cards over here, we had the Star card. Now these are cards that I don't know if YouTube will be okay with me sharing, so I'm going to share pieces of it. So we have the Star out here, or sorry, not the Star, Temperance. I get confused in this. Okay, Temperance. This is Temperance, so Sagittarius. And the Empress. So we have Taurus energy here. I'll just place those over top like that. You are the embodiment of feminine energy. You're here to nurture the world, to care for the world, to bring love back to the world, to bring balance back to the world, to your community, to a project that you're working on. Fairness, liberty, I'm hearing, with grace and ease. You exude femininity, power, poise, grace. You're not docile, but you might come across that way. It's like, what's the saying? What is it? Don't take my no, what is it? Like, don't take my niceness for granted. No, that's not it. Whatever. People might take advantage of you. People might underestimate you. And I think that might be by design as well, the way your appearance. You might have a very innocent looking face or body. You might just look very innocent. very pure-hearted. Meanwhile, you're so powerful and you bring all this balance, but you're very keen, you're very sharp, you're very intuitive, creative. You might share your thoughts, creatively through creative projects, art, acting, interpretive dance kind of stuff. Like, you're very attuned to the energies of the world, to water, nature, Mother Gaia herself. You're very connected to the animal world, to the natural world. You get your strength from the natural world as well. So there's this, the world at large is very deceptive. And spirit, the ethereal realms, are protecting you from it, from being influenced by it. So there's nothing really to worry about. But I think that spirit wants you to know that it's not you, like you're not crazy, that there is all this deception going on in the world. You see through it, but you still feel very humble and connected to truth and love and joy and nature, and you see all these natural wonders of the world, and you wish that other people would see it, but they don't. And so, but you're also at the same time actively trying to spread this message of love and blind yourself to everything that's not the love that you seek. And with that, pile number 1, I'm going to leave it at that. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here and watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, comment below, tell me how this resonated, if it resonated for you. And I look forward to reading for you next time. All right, let's see. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. Now, right off the bat, this deception is the deception that you're facing or you're not aware of. What's conspiring against you is your inner being. No, sorry, not your inner being, but your inner shadows. What is that? There's this like dark space somewhere in the basement of your subconscious mind. It's an old memory that is inhibiting your growth. It's stopping you from expressing yourself, from being yourself. It's an old memory. I see like a child kind of curled up in a fetal position in this like dreary, dark basement. Pipes are dripping. It smells very musty. It's very cold and damp. This could be a memory from a past life, or it could be just like a representation of your inner child, sort of lost and abandoned and exiled somewhere. And I see you actively suppressing this memory, or your conscious mind, or your protective parts suppressing this experience so that you can face the world, but it's still there, it's unheard, unvalidated. It needs to be able to speak its truth for you to heal and kind of integrate with this painful memory so that you can overcome it and not be held back by it anymore. Everybody will have a different experience, a different memory that's kind of being suppressed. But let's see what comes up. I pulled from the Sensual Oracle deck, and I wanted to choose this deck or bring you a message from this deck. I'm going to cover I'll just put that like that. I chose it because it's not just about sensuality in terms of, sex with your intimate partners or partner. It's intimacy with yourself, with your higher being really open and vulnerable to yourself, to your soul, surrendering to what is, and aligning with your true self through acts of love, of openness, of play, pleasure, right? That's the pathway to open the door to that connection to your higher self, to your intuition, to your inner being. And for everybody, that door, the play, the pleasure is different for everybody. What lights you up? So for you, this card says Magic Hotline. Ring, ring, it's your destiny as a fully expressed, whole, and healthy sexual being on the line. And just like the smutty old school hotlines, the universe is waiting to take your call. Sex magic is how you dial in. Action. Whether solo or partnered, sex magic works under the millennia-old assumption that when we increase our arousal, we increase our energy, which in turns allows us to manifest, select our ideal reality on the astral plane. The more pleasure, the more power. The bigger the climax, assuming you have one, the bigger the portal of possibility you open, allowing your heart's desires to flood into new areas of your life. Try it. Okay, so because this is YouTube, I'm not going to go into everything that card is saying, but it's basically the same thing. Pleasure, play, joy. The bigger and better it feels, the more it's going to help you reconnect with that part of you that's been exiled, that inner child, the magical child within. And so you're deceiving yourself about what you can accomplish, who you are, who you can connect with, what you are capable of. And I think that this is saying that tap into the joy, tap into pleasure is going to help release your inner being from the confines of that dreary, dank, dark, cold basement where it's been exiled to. But I think that a memory or an experience or some energy needs to be released. Pleasure might be a way, physical touch, pleasure might be a way to release that. If you find that you are, engaging in a moment with yourself, and at the climax or at the end, you're full and filled with emotion and you're crying and feeling sad and despair, right? If you get that to that point, there's definitely a lot that needs to be resolved, some trauma that needs to be resolved within you, feeling worthy of good things, feeling worthy of pleasure. This could literally be some experiences from childhood that your brain wasn't able or couldn't or didn't want to basically encode because of the trauma, because of the tragedy, something that you don't necessarily remember, or when you are having these emotional flashbacks, you feel the emotion of it but can't put your finger on why, or you get triggered by things in your daily life, a person, a scent, a visual, something that reminds you of something from the past that you can't really place your finger on, being triggered in that way and having an emotional reaction but not understanding why. There is a reason for it. It's being stored in your muscles, in your body, in your tissue, in your nervous system. So that needs to be resolved. It needs to be brought to the surface in order to be resolved, in order to be let go of, so that you can fully express your truth in this life. But there is something in the shadows that's holding you back. And then I pulled these cards. So I pulled the Thinking Woman and the Goddess of the Moon. And I think this is yourself. This is like you're overthinking it. Stop thinking. Just stop thinking about it and start doing it. This could also, I'm also hearing Spirit say journaling. There, I think that by journaling, you'll be able to coax out this memory, this experience that maybe you don't really understand. It could also mean that it could even be suggesting to talk to a therapist, somebody that you trust, a woman who'll understand you, thinking woman here, about these experiences that you're having, these blockages that you're experiencing, this fear, this maybe literally some issues around your libido and hormones and stuff. There's something going on that your body is telling you. It's reacting. It's telling you that there's something there, but it needs you to delve deeper into its subconscious mind, and not mask it with a bunch of other things that maybe even pleasure, things that are coping strategies rather than really actually feeling and going into the pain. So that could be something for some of you. Coping mechanisms, addictions, particularly around relationships and putting your body out there in certain ways that are harmful to you. That can stem from certain experiences in your past, whether you remember them or you don't. So it says magic hotline. I think that's also calling to the fact that if you need to call an emergency hotline, a mental health hotline, crisis hotline, something like that, then some of you might be called to do that right now. Like, sometimes when you hold so much light inside of you, the darkness actively tries to dim your light, which might have happened to you from a very young age. Like, you were just full of light and innocence and beauty. She's reminding me of Snow White here a little bit, or of like Little Red Riding Hood, just like, doing her thing and then being deceived by a situation, by a very deceptive person, and then that memory you've blocked out consciously, but it's like blocked somewhere that needs to be teased out. Like, think of Little Red Riding Hood. That's very traumatic. This like wolf following her and eating her grandmother and trying to gaslight and manipulate her. Like, there's something that happened to you that was tragic and traumatic that you might not remember, but your inner being remembers, and that is deceiving you. It's making you not believe in yourself. You don't not feel pleasure. Like, maybe you're also going through a segment in your life of being really depressed and not understanding why, but there's a reason for it, not just in a chemical imbalance, but there's like a memory or a past experience that's like actively holding you back from your joy, from pleasure, from love, from connecting with other people. And there's somebody in the world that can really help you, a therapist or a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or a coach, or somebody, thinking woman here, that's going to help you tap back into your magic and unleash your magic onto the world. You are this goddess of the moon energy. This is you, but you've been held back from this experience, and spirit wants to help set you free. So it's, who can't you trust? Who's holding you back? It's your own inner being, but it's from something that happened in the past, an experience probably with another person or situation in your life. And then it just takes some patience. There's a lot of patience when it comes to doing this healing work that needs to be done in order to set yourself free. There's a lot of time that this might require, a lot of inner work, going into the dark basement of your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, going in there, reaching out to that inner child within you, reaching out to her or him, them, and really listening to their story and accepting that this story, this thing did happen, forgiving yourself for being vulnerable and being a young person, being, being at the mercy of this person, place, or thing. That wasn't your fault. You've had to live with these consequences unfairly, but it's not your fault. So now, now that you are aware through this reading of this deception from your subconscious or unconscious mind, now that you're aware of it, you can start to do the work and reaching out to the right people that can guide you back to yourself. Yourself, you never lost yourself. She's there. It's not like you're recreating. It's just you need to bring her out because she's been so afraid and hurt by experiences. Sorry, I say she because that's how I identify. So when I think, that's how my brain thinks. But like, they, him, them, he, they, were hurt back then. And now you've been blinded to your potential because of others' actions. Right? Okay, so let's see. Then we got the Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit for 9, Virgo. This is like Taurus energy, a lot of Earth energy here. I mean, some Pisces here, Sagittarius. Okay. So we have an Aries with the Emperor, 8 of Cups, and 6 of Wands. in order for your wish to come true with the Nine of Pentacles, which is kind of mirroring this goddess of the moon energy over here, in order for your dreams to become a reality, in order to become this goddess of the moon, to live up to your true potential, there's a lot of healing that needs to be, I mean, we already said that. That's what this is saying. In order to live up to this, to bring this into your life, right? To call back your true self, so to speak. There's inner healing work. There's this journey of healing, perhaps through the patrilineal side of your family. There's something around maybe toxic masculinity that could be an issue in your family or in your environment. The patriarchy, right? Patriarchal disempowerment of the feminine, that kind of stuff. Like there's something around, or a father figure, a grandfather figure that needs to be healed, or just, the masculine energy in general. I would look at patterns. There's a lot to unpack here. This is like looking at patterns around the people that you choose, the relationships that you choose. What does the masculine energy, the father energy represent to you? And how has a father figure or father energy, masculine energy let you down? Whether you're masculine or feminine or other, that's how you identify now. How is it that the masculine energy in your life has disorganized you, has brought you down, has hurt you, has harmed you, has let you down? The masculine is a very protective, safe, grounding energy. When you don't have that growing up, when you don't have that masculine, that protective, safe, sound, solid masculine energy to rely on, to fall back on, it's very difficult to go out into the world and take risks and be yourself and feel like you are valuable when you didn't have that type of energy around you to guide you, to be your guiding light. Like they're showing me a lighthouse, right? And that's what the masculine father energy is. Sorry, not like a guide. No. So the feminine, okay. There's two different ways to look at it. I'm not going to go into the whole differences between the masculine and the feminine, but yes, the feminine energy is the nurturing, is guidance from with the soul, from within. But then the guidance that the masculine or the father energy provides is guidance out into the 3D reality, the tangible, the pentacles, the earth, right? Like how to go about your life, this existence right here in this universe, right? In this one particular segment in your life, or this whole segment of your entire reality, like navigating that. How do you navigate that in the real world, in this tangible universe that you're out in, playing around with, so to speak? So yeah, there's this, like, this isn't going to be for everybody, but there definitely is a walking away from patterns, from the patriarchal lineage of your family. If you're a man, especially, walking away from how the men in your family have always been. If you're a woman, the same thing, but choosing partners differently than you've chosen before, or friendships. Maybe whereas before you chose partners or friendships with masculine energies that were very toxic. And very, I always think of a wet noodle when I think of like toxic masculinity, right? Small d energy, very controlling and manipulative and jealous and that kind of stuff. Like you're walking away from that energy, walking away from these types of people who don't show up for you, who don't reflect back your own value, who devalue you, right? You're walking away from that. And then once you start to do that and heal from this lineage, you're going to be recognized, and there's a lot of victory and success and stuff coming into your life, right? That's in the future, though. I'm not going to go too far in the future with this reading, but there is this sense of this is where you're at right now. In order to bring in these dreams, there's still this blockage around this like masculine father lineage line. Domination, power, and control struggles, something that happened. There's memories there from your early childhood, whether with your father or grandfather or a masculine figure. in your life, somebody who had dominance over you, somebody who had control over you in some way, some shape or form. And finally, walking away from those, the habits that you have formed to survive from that experience, walking away from that, shifting that, changing that, healing it, and ascending beyond that. So that's a lot going on in your life right now. Big hugs, pile number 2. The candle just went out as I was speaking there. So that's a good sign that this is now over. You're breaking the chains, you're breaking patterns in your family. And that's, that's a big job. That's a big task for your soul in this life. You're on that trajectory though, and you will be successful. Just keep at it, plug away. If you have any questions or comments, you want to understand more, you can reach out to me, or comment on this video, like the video if it resonated, if it spoke to you in some way. And I look forward to reading for you next time. See you soon. Hey, pile. I just hear it going around and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Take that if it resonates. Pile number 3, you chose number 9. Look at this pink. Oh my gosh, I love how she's on the swing, enjoying herself, la 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 la, kicking her shoes, and just really enjoying the moment. There's so much love. There's so much love and lightness and joy and simplicity, and just really focusing on the present moment, enjoying the moment. But this reading is about what is deceiving you, what deceptions do you need to be aware of, who's gaslighting you, kind of thing. So we'll see what is happening with this scenario. But I feel like this figure is you. I'm hearing in La La Land. Like you're here minding your own business, right? Doing your own thing, and then somebody woman holding a coin. I'm getting like the Queen of Hearts. And I'm seeing like Alice in Wonderland when the cards are painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. Because if the queen comes by and she sees that there's white roses instead of red roses, then their heads are gonna roll, right? So I'm hearing mother. This could be your relationship with your mother is what is what was, I can't even remember the word that I used at the beginning of this. Not deceiving, but not gaslighting, but like, gosh, spirit, oh my gosh, what was the word? Anyway, deception. What is deceiving you? What can't you see? I think there's like this woman in your life who doesn't have your best interest at heart. I'm seeing that there could have been a past relationship from a previous life with this person, with this soul, and you're sort of tying up loose ends, balancing out the karmic cord between you, whereas maybe in one life she was in the monarchy and you were, a scullery, is that how you say it? Scullery maid or something like that. I'm being drawn to the cat and the cat's eyes here. People are superstitious. They're afraid of these black cats. But there's somebody who crossed your path, who gave you, I think this is like, I'm almost seeing somebody crossed your path and gave you the chills. Like, and you were like, ugh, that person rubs me the wrong way. You were just minding your own business. This person crosses your path or comes into your life and you're like, ooh, that leaves a mark. Like that really feels like sticky sort of energy. Just because they're showing me the black cat walking across somebody's path and somebody being really afraid of it, really superstitious of the black cat. But in this situation, it's like you intuitively felt something about somebody and it was right. Or it could be that. there's an untrustworthy woman around you. It's like the other, in the last pile, they were showing me Snow White too. This is like, you know, the scene where the queen tells the huntsman to bring Snow White's heart back to her in the box, and instead he brings the pig's heart. But this reminds me of that. This is like every evil stepmother mother in all of Disney. This is like the epitome of her, with her evil cat and holding into this box and keeping things all locked and tight and in control, keeping you under her thumb, her watchful eye, really being jealous of your beauty, of your innocence, of your purity, of your joy. You know, she could be like Ursula and the Little Mermaid too. You know, using you to her own advantage for some gain. There's something that this person thinks that she can get from you or from your situation. And you're like none the wiser, or she thinks that you're none the wiser. Okay, and then we pulled, I did pre-select cards here, but then we pulled the Broken Heart, number 9. This person could be 42, 24 maybe. I do see her as somebody older. It might not be your mother, a stepmother, something like that. Older or more mature in age, or higher ranking in the office if this is something that is business related. And then we have community and caring connections. Wow, so we have this like broken heart, community, which could also be like the 3 of Cups card with family and celebration and stuff. These all came upright, but caring connections. It could be a third-party situation. I don't do a lot of romantic things like that, but it could be a third-party situation where you're minding your own business, or this could be the energy of in general that you experience in the world, where you're just minding your own business, and if you're a feminine, and other feminine energies are just constantly jealous of you, and their partners tend to be very attracted to you. You walk into a room and you light up the room unintentionally. It's almost like sometimes you make yourself small. You don't shine your light into the world because you know that this feminine energy tends to get very jealous and catty towards you. So you actively sort of dim your light so that you don't ruffle other people's feathers, and you kind of go along with that. But yeah, it's like you break hearts everywhere, and it's like I see just like masculine energies kind of dropping down, and like, oh, I really actually like her. What if I wish my partner could be more like that person? You might be extremely model-esque type beautiful, or been told that by people, and that can be very intimidating by other women. I feel like there's a lot of feminine energy around you that is very toxic, but it's out of jealousy. Like very cliquey energy around you. It's not just this woman, but it's like cliquiness. There's a lot of cliquiness. There's a lot of like backstabbing, you know. Let's see here. These are the 2 cards that came out. I picked this from the Sensual Oracle cards. So let's just read these to give you an idea of maybe how to overcome this deception that's going on around you. Mirror, mirror, which reminds me again of Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And, you know, the mirror is saying you, and these people are just like not happy about it. And they think that you're going to somehow interfere with their relationships. It's like they don't want you to get close to their partners. Or if you're like a single mom and you go into, go to a birthday party or whatever with a bunch of married moms there and their partners and stuff, it's like you're the pariah in that group because you're different, because you stand out, because you have so much youth. Even if you're not young per se, you just exude all this youth and vitality and sensuality just by being you, and that really And that really rubs people's egos the wrong way. Like it exacerbates their inner wounds, but you're taking the brunt of their, you're taking their daggers in. Or maybe you're not. Like maybe this is just going on around you, but you don't really care. You feel it, but you're just like, I'm just going to go over here and mind my own business. But okay, here, mirror, mirror. Most of us, when passing a mirror or reflective surface, will notice something we don't like about our appearance. But in mirror work developed by Louise Hay, the opposite is ritual. It's about looking at yourself in a mirror and saying, I really deeply, truly love and accept you. Action. Why not try sexual mirror work? Seduce your own reflection into various states of undress. Tease yourself. Tell yourself how incredible you are. Tell yourself all the things that turn you on about yourself and your sensuous energy. Show yourself how worthy you always were. Mean every word. And if you don't, practice until you do. These people, this energy of like jealousy could have really impacted you. It could have made you feel small. You have had to dim your light, make yourself look less attractive because you knew that people were intimidated by you, and so you don't really put yourself out there in the way that you want to, the way that you wish you could, because you're tired of people like being catty or staring at you, and you feel really uncomfortable in that sort of situation. It could have been, there could be some mother wounding going on there. There could be this kind of dynamic going on with the feminines in your family as well, where you feel like you're being judged or compared to constantly. And listen close. They say someone tells you who they are, listen. But the challenge of listening is a question of presence. Most of us listen to another person in order to react. We wait for our turn to respond, projecting the best, or else most reactive version of ourselves, outward in a bid to center ourselves and be heard. Action. To be present is to completely connect with someone else in the moment, drinking in every word they say, literally and figuratively. Listening is a practice in big empathy, divorced of expectations or demands. Instead, it asks you to simply serve, to witness the divinity in another, imperfections and all. Try deep listening today. You'll be amazed by how rewarding it is. I think it's listen to these people's actions, and instead of being offended by them and their jealousy and their rage and their dismissiveness of you, look at where they're coming from. Why do they feel threatened by you? And what does that say about you, right? And how much of a star you really are, and to let that light shine and to not dim yourself down. And so what if other people are going to be threatened by you? That's their own stuff to deal with. That's not yours. Right? And listen to them. And maybe by listening to them with your body language first and your heart first, and really seeing them for their own pain, then you can stop reacting to it. You can let your own guard down, and then let all of these really good things flow into your life. But just know that there are these people who are projecting their own stuff onto you. They're reflecting all of their own stuff onto you, and you're taking it in, right? You're internalizing their fears, their pain, their jealousy, their rage, their feelings of self-worthlessness, and that has nothing to do with you, although you're taking it in, right? You're trying to mind your own business and do your own thing. These people are projecting and being catty, and all this energetic stuff onto you is heartbreaking. It's very painful. It's very hurtful for you, because you're like, why? What did I do? I didn't do anything. Just minding my own business. But try not to internalize it. Listen to their pain. See it for what it is, because it has nothing to do with you. Don't take it so personally. And then start projecting your own self. Like really fall in love with yourself. As a way to mitigate all of this negative energy that you're getting from over there. But this is something very active that I think that Spirit wants you to engage with yourself, for yourself. So I pulled some tarot cards. We'll just lay them out just to go through. I think this is just confirming the story, but we have the King of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles. How am I going to put this over here, I guess? Seven of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords, wow. I'm feeling this like gut-wrenching feeling, like, and like a lump in my throat starting. It's like you really are uncomfortable with unwarranted attention. And there's something about you that draws people in, but for whatever reason, probably because of the feminine energies in your life, being very jealous, your community, your friends even, you could be in this competitive environment constantly. Because of that, you almost shut yourself off. You don't want to be seen. And you're constantly like, it's like the people are attacking you energetically for being so amazing. And you're just, and then the more they attack you energetically and, you know, send daggers towards you, daggers in their eyes, in order to avoid that, you just keep making yourself smaller and smaller and smaller and hiding away and saying, I'm just minding my own business. I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything, right? But just by being you, you can't help it because that's who you are. But you're sidestepping your truth, your authenticity, your beauty, because you don't want to make these people uncomfortable. And you're very uncomfortable with attention, especially from, if you're a feminine, from masculine energy, or vice versa, or whatever. The energy types that you're attracted to, you're almost uncomfortable in their presence. When they do give you attention, you feel really uncomfortable because you're like, when they take steps towards you, you're like, oh my God, I don't know. Can I do this? I don't want to ruffle any feathers. What are other people going to think? Maybe they won't like me. Maybe I'm not good enough. You know, people are going to think, how did you get such a man? Or maybe you get a lot of unwarranted, you know, attention in a sexual way from men or from women, and it kind of gives you the creeps. I just get this really creepy, gross vibe. So you're constantly just trying to avoid. It's like you're avoiding life instead of engaging with it. And over time, what that's done is kind of trapped you in this. It's trapped you in this feeling of in like a box. You know, you feel so overwhelmed. You feel like, what did I do to deserve this? How come nobody sees me? How come nobody loves me? How come, you know, and you've really struggled with being confident, with seeing yourself clearly because of this junk that's around you. But Spirit really wants you, with the World card here, to alchemize that, to overcome that, to bring that to an end. You don't have to suffer in silence, and you don't have to suffer alone. How? That's one question. I just want to ask this last question before we end this reading. How? Okay, we have the Hierophant, 5, or sorry, 4. No, what? Not the Hierophant. Oh my God. Yeah, the Hierophant. Oh my God. What? Okay, this is a different story. Hold on. Okay, I think at the beginning of this reading, I did say something about a third-party situation, and I do think that there is something about that. There's another story that just emerged, and it could be that in the past, you were a part of a third-party situation with somebody who maybe had lots of, you know, this person broke your heart, this caring connection, this person, this soulmate, twin flame energy type person, they really broke your heart. because maybe they weren't ready, they were non-committal, they weren't ready to commit to you, but they really loved you. And you might get this a lot, like you might, because of your feminine energy, like you just exude nurturing, abundance, attractiveness, you just have that energy about you. So you might find that this scenario gets mimicked a lot, where somebody's partner starts to come on to you and you're like, look, I don't do that, I don't mess around with that kind of stuff, don't make me a third party. But the women, or this particular woman from your past, really had daggers for you. It's like they blamed you for their connection falling apart, or for them not being able to hold on to this partner, when if they were really in love, if they were really attuned and connected, they wouldn't wander like that. So there could be somebody specific from your past where this happened, and this woman, this person really is still like, you're on their mind, right? It's like they're blaming you and you're like, I don't know, I'm over here, I didn't do anything wrong. You could have been recently in a third party situation, and everything's kind of coming out to the front right now. But it's like the woman or the person who was being deceived by this person blames you for it. And so there's some stuff going on right now in their relationship that really has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. If you did engage in, an intimate relationship with this person, there might be some sort of fallout that you're having to deal with that's coming to an end or just beginning. But I think what Spirit is trying to tell you is that like there could be a marriage that's coming to an end, or an agreement of some kind. There's just a lot of icky energy about, but you didn't bring this on to yourself. You're being deceived by, I think, a person. This person could be married. Maybe that's what's happening here. There could be a situation where you didn't know that somebody was married and now it's all coming out, right? This person actually maybe deceived you and there's something going on with their marriage. Or it could be your partner. Like this could be flipped. Like this could be somebody who's actively trying to disrupt your connection, your marriage. Some sort of woman who's jealous of your partner is actively trying to take them from you. There's something about that, a third party situation from whatever angle you're looking at, either presently or from the past, that it's kind of like Spirit really wants you to stay in your own lane, really focus on just like staying above reproach, right? You didn't cause this situation. You can't cure the situation. All you can do is really focus on your own well-being and not get dragged into this entanglement, this stuff that's going on. There's other things, there's better things out there for you with the Sun card and the Page of Wands. Like there's something better coming for you, that you just don't want to mess with all this other stuff. All right, that's Spirit's final message. Thank you so much for watching and being here. Sending you so much love, 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 love. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If it resonated, comment below. Let me know what's going on, and if you need some more clarity, because there's a few different scenarios that were popping up with this, but it's kind of along the same lines. So let me know how this resonated and who maybe you are in this situation. But there's definitely something that, you know what, you just don't want to mess with anymore. You're better than that. And you don't need it. You have other things to do, other exciting things to experience in this life. And all of that stuff is just a waste of your energy. It's draining your energy. So just stick to your own thing, your own lane. This is not your fault, right? If you got pulled into something, but just, mind your business and focus on your own love, your own well-being, really loving yourself through and out of this situation and connections like this. Okay, sending you love. Talk to you later. Bye.